Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a reading wrap-up. I will be talking about all the books that I've read in the month of March. I didn't manage to read too many books this month because I was sort of in a reading slump and I did not have time to read as many books as I wanted. And the reason I was in a reading slump is because of this one. This is Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. I have a lot of complaints about this book. This book is more than 600 pages long. This is a historical fiction where we're following two timelines. The first timeline is we're following Marianne Groves. She's a pilot. In the present timeline, we're following an actress who is playing Marianne Groves in her new movie. That premise sounds really interesting because I went through so much in her life and I was interested in knowing about that, but I feel like this book dragged on for so long. There were so many unnecessary things that should have just been cut off. This book could have been so much better if it were like 300 pages or something, because so many of this book in here were just filler and it didn't add anything to the story. I'm going to tell you what it's about because I've been complaining and I didn't say actually what it's about. So this book starts off in the late 1910s, I think, where we're seeing Marianne Groves' parents before her and her twin brother got born. And I feel like that section was just pointless because we never actually see their mother again. Her story didn't go anywhere, I think, but maybe it was like to give them to see the kind of life that they grew up in. But I don't think that was necessary, in my opinion. And also we kept following them, her and her twin brother, from their childhood, and then literally everything that happens in their life we followed that. And at some points it was kind of repetitive because when she got out of school because she wanted to help her uncle out with financial aspects, and I feel like that was repetitive because she was delivering wine, I think, or delivering alcohol to some people, and those chapters felt like she was just doing the exact same thing. Of course she meets different people and she has different interactions with many people, but still that was a little bit too long in my opinion. Actually, even though I'm complaining about Marianne Groves' chapters, they were kind of fine. They were long, yes, but they were kind of enjoyable. I enjoyed her seeing her messy relationships with her husband and her kind of lover but not really, and her friendships, and seeing her relationship with her twin brother as well. And I loved chapters about her twin brother. He had such an interesting life as well. But what I did not like was the chapters of the modern timeline of our actress, who I forgot her name. I feel like those were just added just because there was just one reveal that happens in the present timeline, and our main character, who is in the present timeline, is the one who figures it out. But I feel like that could have been revealed in another way without actually having to add a second timeline, or maybe we just didn't know about that, because I don't think it added that much to the story. So all I have to say about this one is that it was too long, but which is quite disappointing because the first chapter in this book, which is 1 page long, is really good. When I first read it, I thought this book would be a new favorite book, but the writing was just up here and it went downhill very fast. I'm going to read you the first chapter because it's quite short, so that you know what I was anticipating, because the writing was just so beautiful and the story seemed very interesting to me and I was interested in knowing it. From after reading this book, I know that this is a letter that she has left, that Marianne Groves has left. So I'm gonna read it to you. It says, Little America 3, Ross Ice Shelf, Antarctica, March 4th, 1950. I was born to be a wanderer. I was shaped to the earth like a seabird to a wave. Some birds fly until they die. I have made a promise to myself. My last descent won't be the tumbling, helpless kind, but a sharp, guided plunge. A dive with intent, aimed at something deep in the sea. I'm about to depart. I will try to pull the circle up from below, bringing the end to meet the beginning. I wish the line were a smooth meridian, a perfect taut hoop, but our course was distorted by necessity, the indifferent distribution of islands and airfields, the plane's need for fuel. I don't regret anything, but I will if I let myself. I can only think about the plane, the wind, and the shore, so far away where land begins again. The weather's improving. We fix the leak as best we can. I will go soon. I hate the never-ending day. The sun circles me like a vulture. I want a respite of stars. Circles are wondrous because they are endless. Anything endless is wondrous, but endlessness is torture too. I knew the horizon could never be caught, but still chased it. What I have done is foolish. I had no choice but to do it. It isn't how I thought it would be, now that the circle is almost closed, the beginning and the end held apart by one last fearsome piece of water. I thought I would believe I'd seen the world, but there is too much of the world and too little of life. I thought I would believe I'd completed something, but now I doubt anything can be completed. I thought I would not be afraid. I thought I would become more than I am, but instead I know I am less than I thought. No one should ever read this. My life is my one possession, and yet, this first chapter, as you can see, is very different from the rest of the book. If the book continued on like this, I would have loved it so much. But the first part and the last part were the best thing in the book. Everything in the middle was just a little bit boring and a little bit repetitive. I enjoyed some parts when she was at war. I liked that, but the rest were just not worth it in my opinion. I think I've given it 3 stars or maybe 2.5 stars, I'm not sure. The next book I finished is The Witch is a new release, and it's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. This book is set in a home where people send their wayward girls to, which is like girls or teenage girls or just girls in general who get pregnant out of wedlock. They send them there so that they can say that those 9 months in there until they give birth, and then they come back and they give birth, and then they give out their child, and then the girl goes back home like nothing happens, and she basically erased that part of her life. And one day this mysterious woman, a librarian, gives them a book of witchcraft, and they take revenge on everyone who has harmed them and was the reason that they ended up in the situation that they were in. So obviously the girls were punished, but the guys were not punished in this case, sometimes even rewarded for doing what they did to those girls. The people in that house used to treat those girls like a uterus, not like people, not like actual people. They're supposed to have the diet that they told them to have, the routine that they told them to have. They are basically just supposed to follow rules and not talk back and do anything wrong. So when they get that witchcraft book, they get to have some sort of revenge. My only concern of this book, which is the reason why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5, is that because they did not go too far. I wanted them to do more revenge, like do things, like do much worse things to those people who have harmed them, because I feel like what they did was just a bit mild and they deserved more than that. But still, it was overall an enjoyable read. Not enjoyable, but it was an interesting read, because some parts of it, obviously because this book is about girls who are pregnant, you see like a very vivid description of being pregnant and of giving birth, which is the horror aspect of this book for me, because this book is shelved as horror. That I have never felt as uncomfortable as I have read, I've never been as uncomfortable reading until I have read this book. So it has definitely made me feel uneasy, which is the point of this book, a point of a horror book. But I would definitely recommend this one if you are interested in reading it. And the next and the final book I have read in this month is a non-fiction book, which is Islam and Science, or Science and Islam, I don't remember exactly. But basically the scientific discoveries and scientific revelations and scientific additions that the Islamic world has added to the world. Because I personally did not know that a lot of the technology and a lot of the science that we currently have been built on that. It also has a documentary based on the book, so if you are interested in watching that, I have not watched it yet, but I will watch it someday soon. And there's a quote in this book that I feel like it describes the book perfectly, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Modern science, regarded as a hallmark of modern Western civilization, achieved its place through the passing of many successive batons, which were handed to the scientists of Europe from those of the world's non-Western cultures. It is as if the memory of an entire civilization and its contribution to the sum of knowledge has been virtually wiped from human consciousness. And this sentence, I think, really sums up the book in its entirety. And with each scientist or each person, you get what they have accomplished and what those accomplishments are used in right now, and where have they got their inspiration from and stuff like that. It was really interesting read, and it was very, very eye-opening, because I did not know many of those things before, and I would highly recommend this one if you want to learn more about this one. It's very readable. And these are all the books that I finished in the month of March. I'm currently in the middle of The Dream Hotel by Layla Al-Alami. I'm really enjoying it right now. It's either 4 or 5 stars. I don't know. Depends on the ending. But I'm not going to talk about it in this video. I'm saving it for the February wrap up. No, not February. April wrap up. And I will see you in another video very soon. Goodbye.